So just unboxing the PG kit. Nice full aluminum kit, 50mm. I really like PG's products and I continue to use them and I'm not disappointed. So I'll do a quick unboxing of it. Got new wrist pins, gasket set. I got a set of studs from another project. I think I just threaded them in for test fitting of a gasket. So, and then this kit also comes with a cylinder head. What's that? It's nice. It's all painted white, which is kind of cool looking compared to the other kits. So we're going to test fit this on the bore. See if we need to cut any ports or anything like that. But I think these are drop on. It's also the Piston. Really high-end kit. I would recommend them. So I got this kit out. Obviously it's out of the bike. Makes life a lot easier. I stuffed some rags in there. Make sure nothing gets into the stock crank. You don't want that. And then we're going to be pulling off all the factory gaskets. So I like to use the Harbor Freight Special. They work out great for everything I do. Just buy them by the handful when you're there. Be clearing off all these gaskets. Comes out pretty good. They all just come off. We want to make sure there's none of this left over. We don't need it to be shiny, but we need it to be a clean mating surface. And try to get as much out of it, of the crank, as you can. The paper towel is there, but we don't need to test our luck. Alrighty, that is the base gasket for the piston kit. Now I'm going to do the intake, which is a little harder because it's a lot smaller, so it likes to come off in little pieces. There we go, nice and clean. Vacuum out all that in there and get all the pieces off. Especially when I pull this rag, you don't want anything to fall in there. So I'm going to show you something, but I'm not going to do it this time. I'm not pulling the cranks. I really don't want to extend the boost port. But on these kits here, you can go in, you can take a little bit of that meat out. See, between that and there, there's plenty of meat to take out. You can gain a little bit on that boost port. And then also, if I take this same gasket and and drop it onto stock cases. Just gonna put a bolt in there to hold it, or two, so it makes it look nice. So 2 bolts here, with the crank out of the way. So if you see right there, if you tighten this all the way down, you can get a Sharpie mark, and you can actually cut the boost port. Put the light on. You can actually cut a ton of this case out and extend that boost port crazy. But in my case, I'm probably going to put a crank in it eventually, so I'm not going to go that crazy right now, but I want to at least get the rest of the season out of this build before I start pulling it apart, doing crank, bearings, and all that stuff. So if you are doing the crank, you are doing the bearings, and you're going to have the case apart, do this before you pull it, mark out the boost port and on the kit, and you can get maximum power out of this kit. Or if you're not doing that, you're doing what I'm doing, you'll see the results when I run it and everything like that of not extending the boost port. So we're going to be putting the piston on. Got the needle bearing here. Slide that into this. That spins freely. Put that back. So on pistons, the arrow always goes to the exhaust. So don't get confused with that. So we'll be putting this on. So you can be sliding the pin that they supplied through. Arrow to the front. So you're gonna make it flush on both sides. We have some brandy new C-clips here. Thank you, PG. This is where my weird 90-degree pliers come in. So don't mind me struggle a few times, but I will pop these in. If I edit it out, it's because I dropped it. In this case, you can also put that piece of paper back in if you're worried. So I put a piece of paper there. I don't want it to fall in. I don't want people doing this for the first time to learn the wrong way. So you're gonna put that end in. Sorry, this isn't filmed very well, but so that one's in. I'm going to spin it around. I'll try to get a close-up to show you guys how it does it. So I'll try to do it like this. It's facing you guys, not me, but I want to show how easy it is. So you take your tiny needle nose, you're going to put the pointed end in, and then you're going to start it and roll it in. I'm kind of doing it crooked, so bear with me. Starts like that. My hand's probably in the way. See how it's almost in? So now we're going to push it in, and you'll see it click in place. Yeah, see how it just clicked? You want to take it, make sure it's all the way located in. Perfect. And there's also a notch there. You don't want the spring, the open part of the spring, to be in that notch. You want it to be complete there, because then your C-clip can fail, and you do not want that. So, got the paper removed. I always pre-lube all of them with a little 2-stroke. So I get it on my finger, like so. I just go around the rings. I get a little bit of the skirts, let it drip down. It's just gonna help it a little more. That's lubed up. We'll do the same thing for the kit. So, kit's all lubed up. Get this out of the way so I don't spill it. Also going to need the base gasket that I showed you guys before. So, base gasket goes on. And then, piston facing out towards the exhaust. So, exhaust facing front of the bike. So, if you're in the bike, so when you're putting the kit on, I like to extend it all the way out, and you want to make sure your piston rings are lined up with their little notches, because doing that while fighting the kit is hard. So these are lined up. Easy as that. Make sure this gasket's lined up as you go in. So there we go. Let's function. That binding is just my kit. My drive face hitting the starter bell. So also going to drop the piston down because it might be in storage while I get the pal ready. And we're going to lube it one more time. All it's going to do is cause a smoky start. This ain't going to hurt nothing. It's going to help. So oil it on up. Take the kit. Nice aluminum kit. With the gasket. Ooh. A very nice gasket. Thank you, PG. I'll line that up. So the exhaust studs, I didn't like how they looked, so we're not using them. Oh, backwards. Spark plug is going to have that weird backward facing like Elite, unlike Sprees or Arrows. So I'm going to line all this up using the stock bolts, not studs. Studs are better. If you're going to rebuild the engine a few times, just buy studs. Don't do it like this. But this is all I had. It's moving on me. Struggling to put a gasket on. Jeez. Looks like on this kit too, they want you to run these washers. Let me get these out of the box. Don't know why 100% that they use these. So we'll pull them out one at a time, put these on. There's a ton of slack. So these are all 10s. It's probably a torque sequence. I just do it. Okay. So I run them all down till they touch. They must have added those spacers there just because the cylinder head's not very thick. So they're all touching. start on the first one again. So this is a 1/4 inch drive with an extension, so you don't want to go crazy. A little snug, snug, snug. Alright, so start over again and do a good 1/4 turn, 1/4 turn, 1/4 turn, 1/4 turn. Start again, see if we can get a little more out. There's probably a torque spec, but I don't know it. Just trying to crush all those gaskets down, but not over torque. It's going into aluminum threads. Alrighty, see how I'm holding the ratchet too? You don't want to over tighten. So I'm just holding it right off the base. There's a big extension, so I mean maybe 20 foot-pounds if I'm really cranking it, but I don't like to really crank it. So that's the kit installed. Everything spins freely. Just gonna put a BR7 in it for now. I will let you guys know what my final spark plug jetting setup. Just want to make sure nothing can get in there. I also found a lovely exhaust stud set. Those on. And so I will now do the intake manifold and the oil plug for you guys. Let me set it all up.